And the quarterback in front of you, extending the arm out like,
yeah, the long arm right there.
There's your long arm right there. And then if he steps up, cross face, Hill's doing the same thing over here, steps up, cross face, and sandwich the quarterback with the extra spy right there. Tough guy to stop. Very good on the deep ball. Very good, very fast. Do not underestimate Daniels' speed or arm. As good as anybody they'll play.
Yeah, you look at Jaden Daniels, he has an opportunity to face Lamar Jackson, who is another one of these quarterbacks that's sort of not only being a trailblazer in the game, but changing the way we look at the position. So enjoy the Baltimore Ravens versus the Commanders and all the NFL games this week. But we have an update. Catch Inside the NFL on the CW at 9 p.m. Eastern, now every Wednesday. See.
Now at 10, it is being called a once-in-a-century storm. Hurricane Milton crashes into Florida, bringing ferocious winds, life-threatening flooding, and destructive tornadoes. Tonight, the danger is only just beginning.
Plus, an evening run in Anaheim ends in a nightmare when a mother never makes it home alive. Tonight, the woman's heartbroken husband opens up about the high-speed tragedy as a suspected DUI driver is behind bars.
And the Southern California showdown turns into a shutout. The Dodgers stay alive in a must-win Game 4 against the San Diego Padres. Now on the news at 10. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. Hurricane Milton has barreled into Florida with historic fury, unleashing powerful winds and catastrophic flooding while producing an already deadly storm surge.
It could be the most powerful hurricane to hit the Tampa Bay area in more than a century. Tonight, more than 2 million people are without power as Milton's storm surge threatens destruction in the dark, with roads underwater as it continues to rise.
We have live team coverage of Hurricane Milton. Meteorologist Vera Jimenez is tracking the storm. But we begin with John Finolio in the KTLA News Center with the latest on the danger and destruction tonight. John.
Cher and Micah, Milton is now a Category 2 storm, but it is still packing a powerful punch as it churns across central Florida. At this hour, the storm is walloping the Orlando area. Earlier tonight, Milton spawned tornadoes. It is still producing relentless rain and wind. For those still in the storm's path, tonight they face the threat of rapidly rising water and widespread destruction in the dark.
Hurricane Milton slamming ashore Florida's Gulf Coast as a powerful Category 3 storm, making landfall in Siesta Key near Sarasota with 120-mile-per-hour winds, torrential rain, and dangerous storm surges. More than 5 inches of rain in 3 hours recorded in St. Petersburg.
And there goes Tropicana Field roof.
The wind shredding a portion of the roof at Tropicana Field. The stadium home to the Tampa Bay Rays is where thousands of emergency responders are staging as the storm churns across the state. But as Milton approached, an eerie phenomenon.
So this is Tampa Bay. Look at this. All the water has run out of the bay.
The storm-strong winds pushing the water out of Tampa Bay as Milton's eye passed just south, an event sometimes referred to as a negative storm surge. Now the water is rising. A flash flood emergency in effect for Greater Tampa. Drone footage capturing massive 20-foot waves inside the hurricane in the Gulf as it marched towards land.
Peak storm surge is predicted to be between 5 and 13 feet, depending on where you are on the Gulf Coast of Florida.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis urging residents who refuse to evacuate to seek higher ground and stay inside.
Stay inside and stay off the roads. Floodwaters and rushing storm surge are very dangerous. There's already been 116 tornado warnings with 19 confirmed touchdowns throughout the state, 9 flash flood warnings, and 4 additional flood watches, with many, many more to come.
Multiple fatalities from tornadoes have been reported in St. Lucie County. The death toll still unknown. Millions without power. For now, the full scope of Milton's wrath remains unclear until daybreak.
We've already approved emergency declarations for Florida. We have thousands of federal personnel on the ground. To the people of Florida and all the impacted states, we've got your back. We've got your back. And Kamala and I will be there for as long as it takes to rescue, recover, and rebuild.
Of course, Milton is the second major hurricane to hit the region in less than 2 weeks. The damage to communities still reeling from Hurricane Helene is expected to be severe. President Biden says he has already directed Secretary of State Lloyd Austin to pre-position search and rescue teams, helicopters, and high-water vehicles to conduct life-saving missions once the storm has passed. We'll have another update at 11. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you to meteorologist Vera Hamed is tracking the path of Milton tonight. Vera.
Yes, let's go ahead and take a look. So Category 1 is now where Hurricane Milton sits. The wind speeds are 90 miles per hour. The gusts are now 125 miles per hour. It is now making its way into Tampa, and it's going to continue, obviously, across the state to the Atlantic side, to the eastern side. At this point, it looks like it is going to maintain a Category 1 rating until about Thursday, 8 p.m., and then it will begin to diminish. Keep in mind that the waters are still very warm, even on the eastern side. So that is why this hurricane is going to maintain this much power and force, even as we make our way into Thursday night. It is moving in an east-northeasterly direction at about 16 miles per hour. And again, it's going to be about the heavy rain that's going to fall with it, which is going to land somewhere between 8 and possibly as much as 18 inches of rain. We're also going to see very widespread and dangerous winds. As we take a look at the movement of this, you can see that those winds are spreading out, that wind field from what is still the center of Hurricane Milton, extending out about 255 miles per hour. So imagine this being like helicopter blades and spinning around. That's what those winds are going to do. So there is going to be a lot of damage with this. And of course, the storm surge is still forecasted to be somewhere below 15 feet, which again is very high and also dangerous. We'll take a look at our local weather coming up shortly. For now, I'll send it back to you guys.
Vera, thank you. The Orange County Fire Authority has deployed 33 members of their Urban Search and Rescue Task Force in response to Hurricane Milton. They will join 35 other OCFA team members who were already deployed for Hurricane Helene back on September 27th. This marks the first deployment of this kind by OCFA in 16 years. The expanded team, which includes 2 human remains detection canine teams, departed from John Wayne Airport this morning and will meet up in Georgia before tackling Hurricane Milton's aftermath.
The impact that our personnel are able to make on the mission and the impact they're able to make on people's lives in North Carolina is tremendous. And the impact and the positive impact that they will have on the people that they're able to rescue and help move to the recovery perspective in Florida will be tremendous.
As one of only 28 national urban search and rescue task forces, the team plays an important role in FEMA's emergency response capabilities and will be vital in helping those affected by these severe storms.
An investigation is unfolding into last night's deadly plane crash on Catalina Island that claimed the lives of 5 people. Tonight, we are learning more about who was on board and what may have happened leading up to the crash.
KTLA's Rachel Menitoff is live in Santa Monica with the very latest. Rachel?
Sure, Micah. According to the FAA, the plane is registered to a man by the name of Ali Safai, a former flight instructor. He apparently flew to Catalina to help out fellow pilots who were stranded and having mechanical issues. 5 people on board a twin-engine Beechcraft 95 killed Tuesday night. Their